Hey you guys, what's going on? It's Teenage Night, and this is the video for my 2014 off season. I did have a live commentary for this, and I was going to split it into two parts, but it came out about 30 minutes apart. I did not want to put my computer through that, or the uploading through that, because that would have taken probably 24 hours to do uploading on that. So yeah, I decided not to do that, so I cut it down to around 15 minutes. And yeah, so this is me commentating after it and the edited version of it. And a lot of it's probably very badly edited, so I'm going to be rambling a lot through it. A couple things that I wanted to do this offseason was, one, replace anyone who did not want to re-sign with us, obviously. And that was a lot of people. And also, going into free agency, we did not have a lot of cap space. As you see here, we have almost 23 mil in cap space, so I was kind of happy about that. But after signing some of these people, well, apparently some of them made a pretty big hit on the cap space. And then I franchise tagged Jason Kelsey, who was our starting center last year. And I wanted to bring back the entire offensive line, because they played tremendous last year. So I wanted to bring all of them back, but Kelsey didn't want to come back. The Andre Barber or whatever, he was not a starter. We are losing Bradley Fletcher, which is really disappointing because he played very well in the Super Bowl, getting an interception off of Brock Osweiler. But I guess he doesn't want to come back, so we're not going to get him back. Jason Kelsey does end up getting the franchise tag, like I said. But I didn't check how much money he was going to make. And he gets a pretty good amount. A couple of these guys, like our fullback, he wanted 2 years, 2.2 mil. I was not going to give him that, so I offered him 1 year for $900K, which was just the default contract that popped up, and he declined it. So that adds fullback to our needs list, which we had to get a fullback last offseason. I barely used the fullback. I think Robinson last year got 1 or 2 carries on the entire year, which is unrealistic, but I don't use the fullback a lot because I don't get into a lot of situations where the fullback would be necessary. Brad Smith ends up not coming back to Philly, I think. I think he leaves. So we ended up having to get a bunch of new receivers, really. Pua didn't want to come back after I offered him a contract, which was kind of bad because he was the defensive tackle we signed last offseason, and he played fairly well. And it wasn't a big contract, but I wanted to spend a little bit in free agency to maybe add some competition for Matt Barkley at quarterback, because even though he's injured now, I wanted to trade Nick Foles because I think he could be a starter, but he's not going to be my starter, definitely. I never played well with him, really. He did win a few games for us, but I could never play extremely well with Nick Foles. So I do end up actually trading him once he's healthy, and you'll see that at the end, see who I trade him to. So yeah, I wanted to trade him this offseason, get a couple draft picks maybe, or at least one draft pick, like 2nd or 3rd round, possibly 1st if I could get it. But he was injured due to the, I believe, Miami game? Miami or Dallas. I think it was the last game of the season, so I think it was Dallas where Taj Boyd had to come in. So yeah, that sucked, and Taj Boyd really proved himself in the Super Bowl, leading us to a victory. He held on to our 1-point lead that we had for him coming into the game, let us down for a touchdown, and pretty much closed the game out on us. And there's everyone that's not interested in coming back, really, which sucks. Chris Gokong, who didn't really play tremendous last year, I wasn't too sad about him leaving, but Brandon Graham leaving really sucked, actually. That's what kind of disappointed me about it. And Jason Avant leaving, which I understand. He played really well last year for the time he got, but we had so many good receivers last year that he was 6th on the depth chart. And in real life, I love Jason Avant. He's like one of our most reliable targets. But I had so many good receivers this last season that he didn't get to play a lot. So I completely understand him leaving. It's not really a big deal to me that he's going to leave. And there was just a couple other people I was kind of sad were leaving. Robinson, I really didn't want to sign a new fullback, but you know, if he wants to go, let him. Carmichael left our like 6th defensive back, so we had to replace him. And now we go into free agency, and there you see everyone that's in free agency. For some reason, I auto-simulated. One, we're going after Brandon Graham again. Chip Kelly apparently wants him back. We were going after Roy Halou Jr. We were going after Brinkley. This is all of our negotiations, by the way. BJ Daniels, if you remember him, we had him last preseason, and I ended up cutting him. And we ended up signing a new defensive tackle already. He's the same overall as Pua Knighton. So he would definitely get to play. Here's the league signings. Demarius Thomas is now a Falcon. Smith, I'm going too fast here for me to even read anyone. But if you know someone or recognize someone that, or you want to see what your favorite team signed, I guess look there. We weren't really looking for a new kicker. Our kicker played tremendous last year. Right there, Jake Locker. No offers. Terrell Pryor is apparently going to be a Cowboy, as it looks right now. But Jake Locker had no offers. So, and that's another voice crack. But I'm going to take a drink real quick before I continue talking, so I'll be quiet for a second. Alright, I don't know how that sounded on the mic. Probably really weird. But I do end up offering Jake Locker a contract. He wanted a lot of money. And I wasn't prepared to give him that much money because he really hasn't proven himself yet. So I offered him a fairly low contract. I offered him, I think, 5.2. 4.8 actually. Offered him 4.8, and he does actually accept that at the time. Like, he brings it to his agent and everything. So at least we got that much. But then we go to halfbacks looking, and really no one's there. No Sean Moreno, Murray. I was actually really kind of hoping, I was thinking about getting Murray, but with the play of LaShawn McCoy last year, rushing over 1,600 yards, and the play of Darius Raynaud over 800 yards in just 4 games starting, I was pretty solid on our running backs, so I wasn't really too concerned with them. I was looking at new receivers because I was considering trading Deshaun Jackson, but I do decide to actually keep Deshaun for the time being. We'll have to see how he does this year. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot I wanted to change. We did go 14-2 though, but I have a feeling a big part of that was all the turnovers our defense forced. So I want to get our offense a little bit better, and that's why I wanted to bring in competition to see if maybe we can get another quarterback on the roster in case because we do have to get a new backup because Nick Foles does get traded, like I said. So I was looking at potential backups. Even Barkley might be the backup if I get Jake Locker here, or that's what I was thinking. I'm going to tell you right now, I do not get Jake Locker. Someone offers him a much bigger contract, and I was just looking at the bottom quarterback here. I don't know why, but I wanted to see who was at the bottom of the list. And I'm looking through all the quarterbacks, trying to see someone maybe is a backup, and there's really no one that I end up finding that I really want. So yeah, I pretty much just skipped past the rest of the free agency, and there's the free agents. Now I'm going to the free agency recap because I wanted to see where everyone got signed. And this, I forgot to mention, this was right before the draft. I already skipped past scouting and everything. We got all these people, but we did not get Jake Locker. We got Dominique Davis, quarterback from, I think, like East Carolina. He's in like his 2nd or 3rd year now. But I was kind of happy we got him, and now I go to the league signing and see where everyone else went. Tucker's a Raider, Cobb's a Raven, Goskowski is a Falcon. Yeah, Jason Witten retired, and they immediately go and get a 93 overall tight end that's a vertical threat. So pretty much Jason Witten retired, and they immediately got a very good replacement for Jason Witten. Champ Bailey is a Jet. Demarius Thomas is a Falcon, like I said before. Des Bryant's a Saint. There's just all these signings here, and I'm scrolling through them pretty quick. Roddy White's a Charger. Trying to catch as many as I can. Yeah, and quarterbacks, Locker's a Patriot. Pryor's a Cowboy. Alex Smith's a Titan. Jimmy Clausen's a Patriot. BJ Daniels does not come with us. He goes to the 49ers, and Ryan Mallett goes to the Saints. Now looking at the halfback signings for the league. Vereen's a Patriot. Moreno's a Lion. Murray is a Patriot. Forset's a Charger. There's just a lot of people that move teams this offseason. Tight end, I immediately leave because I already know the top target for tight end, where he went. So I'm not really looking forward to playing Dallas this year because they have that. And now we go into the NFL draft, and I do show every pick from the first round like I did last offseason. So yeah, and so far the first predicted overall pick is supposed to be Braxton Miller. We will see if the Giants, who went 1-15, actually take him, because if they take him, we have a big problem on offense, because I looked at his ratings and it was incredibly good. And they go with Ibrahim Campbell for the first overall pick. I don't think a safety's ever gone first overall. I do try to trade for this pick, and yeah, it doesn't end up too well. And I really wanted this pick because I was gonna take Braxton Miller to compete with Matt Barkley for the starting job. I understand it's incredibly insane to actually do that, but I wanted to, so I offer Zach Ertz to them, and well, they pretty much deny my trade. I think, yeah, they deny my trade, but I couldn't remember for a second, but yeah, they do deny. I do not get Braxton Miller, and they end up drafting Braxton Miller. So now Arizona has Braxton Miller, and I don't know if we play them this season or not, but the Packers with the third overall pick take Josh Shirley. I'm not sure how they got that third pick, because they were in the conference championship with me. And there I'm kind of skipping past everyone. Jordan Hicks, Michael Harvigsson. I was actually kind of looking at him to put on the other side of Austin Seferian-Jenkins, but not in the first round, definitely. He was supposed to go in like the second round. Jason Marrow is a Dolphin. Blake Bell is a Saint. I was actually kind of hoping to get him if he slipped down far enough to see how well he played. One, because I am a Sooners fan and he's Oklahoma's former quarterback at this point. And right now, I think he's switching to tight end in real life, random thought. But anyway, I wanted to get him, but obviously don't. And I miss out on a bunch of people that I actually wanted to get. Matt Miller's a Chief after that trade with the Cowboys. And the Vikings take Hudson Mason. They finally get another quarterback, even though they have Tim Tebow now. And if you remember, they were one of the 2 teams to beat us this year using Tim Tebow. And David Ash is a Patriot, which is kind of shocking. So they signed Jimmy Clausen, they signed Jake Locker, and they drafted David Ash. So they've got a fairly good quarterback lineup going into the first season without Tom Brady because he retired. So Brent Hundley is now a Texan. And the Dallas Cowboys select, if I actually click it, yes, they select Matt Robinson, right outside linebacker. And the Patriots now take a left end. That's their second or third pick of the first round, not really sure. Nick O'Leary is a Colt. Marcus Robertson is a Seahawk. I actually wanted him. Derrick Thompson is a Redskin, so we've got to look out for him this year. Allen Robinson is a Raven. Devin Smith is a Lion. A lot of receivers went in the first round this year, and it really surprised me because I was hoping one of them would slip down. I could maybe replace Jason Avant with him, and maybe they could compete for a decent job. So Jeffrey Pagan is a Steeler, and I go back and I, for some reason, looked here. Not really sure. Jeffrey Pagan still. DeAndrew White is a Raven. Now the Packers are on the clock. This is their actual pick. I have no idea where they got their third overall pick from, but they end up, I have to go back and look, which they traded their pick to the Ravens and got Chris Harper. And then the Broncos got Calvin Pryor. So now our pick. I should have looked and see what we got for trade options, but I immediately went to the pick. And I'm trying to remember who I took here. I don't think I go with one of these receivers because there were a bunch of receivers that slipped down, but I scouted all of them and they were all pretty bad. So I looked through them all, and I don't think I end up getting. I'm pretty sure I end up drafting this kid, Jalen Mills, a defensive back from LSU. He's 6'1", and his stats seem to be pretty decent. So I end up actually drafting him. But also before, well, I'll say that before the preseason games. Oh, speaking of preseason games, random thought. I might split them into 2 parts. I'm not sure. You will know by the first preseason video. So yes, I do end up taking Jalen Mills first, and then I end up drafting Darius Jennings in like the 3rd round. I skipped a bunch of the picks just so there's everyone we drafted. We end up getting a fullback in the 7th. So we got most of our needs covered pretty well. And there is the trade that that I sent Nick Foles to. I get a 2nd round pick next year, they get a quarterback, and I'm fine with that. So, yeah. But anyway, the preseason video should be up within the next few weeks. Honestly, don't expect it up tomorrow or whatever day this goes up. Do not expect it anytime soon. But it will be up hopefully within the next week or so because I have to play 4 games and edit 4 games. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and this is Teenage Unite, and I'm out.